This will be a rather different PC, because the base is a pre-built Acer that I gutted and reconfigured to my liking. I have attached a decent AIO to this weird shaped motherboard that thankfully perfectly fit into a Be Quiet case that is absolutely massive, with the critical clearance at the front still being less than half a millimeter. So let's run through and explain what this ostrich camel hybrid is, but rather I think the English version of that saying is a turducken. Anyway, as I said, the base is a 9th gen Acer pre-built that apart from the weirdly shaped motherboard doesn't have much in the way of custom stuff, which is good because it means there's not a lot of constraints on the build. The CPU on top of it is an i5-9400, a still very competent 6-core that is more or less comparable to Ryzen 5 3600, which is a really long-winded way to say that's really good for gaming. Supporting it are two mismatched sticks of RAM at 8GB each, but to be fair that does not matter at all considering this is a locked CPU, so it will run at JDEC memory speeds anyway. The fact that the sticks are not from the same manufacturer in this particular case really makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. But more often than not, with higher end CPUs that are overclockable, that is not the case. So let's see what else is there. A 200GB SSD, a backup hard drive, a very nice Wi-Fi card that I cannibalized from another pre-build and stuck it in here as it was better than the one this one had, plus a weird fan configuration. There is a reason for that, I promise. There is no LAN unfortunately because the Realtek controller that is supposed to power the thing is intermittent. I did consider replacing it, but then I decided that deactivating it is the smarter move as USB 3 LAN adapters are only a few quid each off AliExpress and they're really good. Speaking of adapters, I had to use something that can only be described as adapting adapters to get the front USBs working. It's not a very elegant looking solution, but one that does not compromise performance or reliability at all. Oh, and CPU cooling is taken care of by a 120mm AIO that I recently serviced, as well as a brand new pack of RGB fans. The whole thing is powered by a brand new 700W RGB PSU. I had a few of these and they are decent. Certainly for the price they are very much worth it in my opinion. Would I recommend actually trying to use it as its full rated capacity long term? God no. This is why I did a bit of math and this PC consumes at most around 400 watts, so I'm sure that it will have a very happy long life. And speaking of that power draw, I didn't get to talk about what will suck up the most. In this case a brand new remanufactured RX 5700 XT from a brand named Soyo. What do I mean by that? Well, the graphics card itself is brand new, but the chip is reused. There are a fair few companies doing it over on AliExpress. I did get this one local though, and overall I can say that they are okay for the money. That's not to say that they are amazing or better ones can't be found, because although the cooler is big and a lot of material has gone into it, the milliliter tolerances are poor. Still somewhat better than the Eno 3D 3080 I had a little while ago, and the shroud design is only adequate while the fan control is not very fine, but again, price point. It works and it works well. This all leads to a hotspot temperature that is a bit higher than I would personally like when running this at its full potential, but I think the makers also anticipated this situation and they locked the card at 150 watts, which is a long way from its 220 watt name brand brethren. Although I have repasted it and the card is brand new, I would still recommend sticking to this stock configuration long term. Sure, you can quote unquote overclock like crazy just by unlocking the full TDP, but you'll find the hotspot getting a bit warm. Still within the specs mind you. AMD themselves say the normal thermal behavior entails the hotspot sitting constantly as the 110C, but personally I think that is not great, so I won't be recommending it. So what do you actually get when you pull it all together? I would reasonably argue that this is a powerful lower mid-range machine that is fairly inexpensive for the gaming prowess on display. I will be skipping the benchmark narration this time, but rest assured they are captured on this machine and it performed exactly as you'd expect when limiting the GPU to 150 watts. If you would like to hear my full thoughts on this card, I've got a linked video in the description that goes through it in more detail. Here are some pictures of the final build. I did spend a bit of time adding some flourishes here and there, and I think it paid off. This now looks like a much more expensive machine than it actually is. And well, that's it for this one. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. But there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky.
Show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky.